The Warriors have an absolute embarrassment of riches. Not only do they have a team that's one of the favorites to win the title, but they have a young core that will extend their dynasty. But it had to get ugly before it got pretty. After making the finals for 5 straight years between 2014 and 2019, the Warriors would miss the playoffs for the next 2 seasons. But those 2 bad seasons allowed the Warriors to draft James Wiseman in 2020 and Jonathan Kaminga and Moses Moody in 2021. And the Warriors also have Jordan Poole, who at just the age of 22 is having a breakout season. The natural cycle of an NBA team is to go back to being in the basement after their team is clearly done competing. But the Warriors look like they'll have a smooth transition into the next phase of Warriors basketball after Steph, Clay, and Draymond Green retire. First, let's start off by talking about Jonathan Kaminga. Kaminga was taken with the 7th pick in the 2021 NBA draft. For the Warriors to get a player with this high of a ceiling at pick number 7 is just flat out unfair for the rest of the league. Kaminga has excellent size for a small forward at 6'8 with a 6'11 wingspan, and he's extremely athletic. The Warriors have decided to bring Kaminga along slowly, but this is good for his development because he's learning winning habits that will one day make him an elite two-way player. Recently, Kaminga has started to see an increase in minutes and he's producing with the opportunities given to him. Kaminga is averaging 11 points per game on 55% shooting in his last 4 games, including 26 points on the Toronto Raptors. In that stretch, Kaminga is showing a strong ability to slash to the basket. He's got a quick first step to get by defenders and great athleticism to finish at the rim with authority. And his shooting from the outside has looked a lot better than advertised. On defense, his size and athleticism also makes him a terrific on-ball defender and one that is very capable of guarding multiple positions. Now, he still has many areas of his game that he still needs to work on, such as his rebounding, but that will get better in time. He reminds me a lot of a young Kawhi Leonard who has a similar physical profile to Kaminga and also was pretty raw his first year in the league. If Kaminga keeps working hard on his game, the sky is truly the limit. Next, let's talk about James Wiseman. Wiseman is still working his way back into game shape after last year's season-ending knee injury, but when Wiseman returns, he can make the Warriors much better. Wiseman's rookie year was largely a mixed bag. He averaged a decent 11 points and 5 boards a game and showed a lot of flashes that made him a top 3 prospect during the 2020 draft. But while Wiseman had exciting moments during his rookie season, he was still pretty raw, particularly on the defensive end, and injuries shortened his season to just 39 games, which only steepened his learning curve. But what Wiseman displayed in his rookie year shows that he's a prospect with a pretty high upside. At 7 feet tall with a 7'6" wingspan, Wiseman is a physical specimen, and he also has athleticism that you rarely see with a player his size. Thanks to those physical tools, Wiseman is a terrific finisher around the rim and a good roll man out of the pick and roll. And he can also knock down shots from 3-point range and from mid. Now, he didn't shoot well, only knocking down 32% of his threes in his rookie year, but he clearly showed the potential to be a legit stretch big. Wiseman is already a lot more offensively potent than the Warriors' current starting center Kevon Looney. Wiseman is already a much better finisher, and as stated before, Wiseman can stretch it from deep, while Looney rarely takes jump shots. But what Looney has over Wiseman is that he's a much better defender. Wiseman has potential to be a good defender, but last year, he wasn't great on the less glamorous end of the court. The main issue with Wiseman on defense is that he fouls way too much. According to Wiseman, during his time off the court, he spent a lot of time watching film, observing Kevon Looney, and learning how to be a better defender. With Wiseman's physical profile, he could be one of the top defensive bigs in the league. He just needs to learn to be a lot more disciplined and aware. And offensively, he could be really special on that end of the court thanks to his unique shooting and ball handling skills for a big. If Wiseman keeps developing right, he's another guy that has a high upside. Wiseman's former coach at Memphis, Penny Hardaway, says that Wiseman has a Chris Bosh level ceiling, and with Wiseman's size and skill set, that seems very possible. He just has to put the work in. Now let's talk about Jordan Poole. In Poole's third year, he's emerged as one of the top players on this Warriors team. He's currently averaging 18 points per game, which ranks third on the team behind Steph and Andrew Wiggins. This is incredible for a guy who was taken with the 28th pick in the 2019 NBA draft. But the Warriors are excellent at finding talent deep in the draft and developing those guys into great players. Poole's first year in the league was pretty forgettable, only averaging 9 points per game on 33% shooting. But he improved in his second year, increasing his averages to 12 points per game and becoming a solid second unit scorer. And in his third year, he's made another leap, becoming an excellent scorer and even having 3 30-point games on the season. His play style is very reminiscent of Steph Curry, which is why he often gets the title the third splash brother. He moves off the ball extremely well, and he could get hot from deep at any given moment during the game. But what's really taken his game to the next level is his ability to attack the basket. Poole has a quick first step and a nice handle, which allows him to get by defenders at will, and he's an excellent finisher, whether it's a strong dunk in traffic or a smooth layup off the glass. And while Poole is a great offensive contributor, it's also worth mentioning that he's also very good on defense. Poole has good size at 6'5" with a 6'7" wingspan, which allows him to be a versatile defender on the court. His length, physicality, and high motor make him a terrific on-ball defender. For Poole to be this good of a two-way contributor at just 22 years old is nothing short of amazing. He has a terrific shot of being elite if he continues to trend in the right direction. Let's move on to Moses Moody. Moody was taken with the 14th pick in last year's draft. Coming out of Arkansas, Moody was viewed as someone that can both defend and shoot the three at a high level, while possibly being able to do more, as he averaged 17 points per game in his final year at college. There haven't been too many flashes from Moody just yet, as he's only averaging 6 minutes a game and has also spent some time in the G League. Moody still has the potential to be a very good player, but similar to Kaminga, Moody is another rookie that the Warriors are bringing along slowly, and just like Jordan Poole, Moody may have a quiet rookie year, but if he grinds hard and waits for his opportunity, he can break out in his second or third year. Lastly, I want to talk about Andrew Wiggins. I know Wiggins is a veteran, but it's easy to forget that he's still a young player as he's only 26 years old. Wiggins has completely reinvented himself on the Warriors. Before coming to Golden State, he was viewed as a draft bust. He was the number 1 pick back in 2014 and drew comparisons to all-time great legends like Kobe and LeBron when he was a high school prospect. But after a few years on the Wolves, it became clear that he was not the guy that the scouts thought he would be. He was scoring a lot of points, but they appeared more like empty numbers on a bad team. While Wiggins could put the ball in the hole, his defense was terrible and he was a horrible shooter. Getting traded from the Wolves to the Warriors has been the best thing for him because he's evolved into a two-way force. On the Warriors, Andrew Wiggins is now a great defender, and his shooting has improved to the point where he's now hitting 42% from 3. His numbers may not be as eye-popping as they once were, but it's clear now that he's much more of a winning player. And he hasn't even hit his prime yet, so there's still plenty of room for growth. At 26 years old, Wiggins can fit the timeline of the other young players on this roster and be a part of the next era of Warriors basketball. Anyway guys, that's going to be the end of the video. It's amazing that the Warriors are somehow able to compete for a championship while still developing a pretty good young core. But this is why they're the model organization in the NBA. With the young talent on this Dubs team, the Warriors dynasty has the potential to be extended even after Steph Curry decides to hang them up. Which young player on the Warriors are you most excited for? Tell me in the comments. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed this and want to see more dope content just like it. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.